Hi, everyone. This is Aaron, and you are listening to Walnut Notes, the official podcast for the members and friends of FCBC Walnut. I spoke with Endora Pan. She's a worship leader and small group leader at our church, and we talked about her exhortation from today's worship service, recording her vocals for video worship, and small groups during the time of COVID-19. This episode was recorded live on Instagram, and if you want to watch the video replay, I'll put that link in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Hey, Endora.
Hey.
I feel like I just saw you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Thanks for taking this live call with me. It's Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock. You're not normally sleeping during this time?
No, I've been going to sleep a little bit later now that I don't have my commutes.
Yeah, your 3-hour commute, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're able to take this call. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
There are a couple things I want to talk about, and we're not going to take too long, maybe only 15 minutes. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was today on Facebook when we watched the worship service. I didn't expect you to be giving a little exhortation. I think Pastor Albert was like, and now here's Pastor Terrence. What was going on there? Or you gave a little Devo almost. Can you share that again with us here?
Yeah, so Ray asked me, so he invited me to join the worship team and to collaborate virtually. And then after I sent him my recording, then he asked me if it was okay for me to do an intro video, which do an encouragement that he did a couple weeks or 2 weeks in a row. And so it did take me a while to figure out what I wanted to share, but my small group actually just finished reading a book. And so it's called, I actually have it. It's Trusting God by
Nice.
Jerry Bridges.
Nice.
Which, in God's sovereignty, had no idea, obviously, COVID-19 would be happening months later.
Right.
But it is just something that we were reading. And so we just completed the last chapter, and the last chapter was titled Giving Thanks Always. And it was based off of 1 Thessalonians 5:18 in particular, but I quoted 16:18. And so one thing that was really interesting was that Jerry Bridges, he kind of connected Romans 8:28 with 1 Thessalonians, and just how because we know who God is, that he is completely sovereign, perfectly loving, I'm quoting him, and infinitely wise, we can then respond with trusting him. And part of trusting him, there's different responses, and one of them is thanksgiving. And so that's why I shared what I did. But just how for me, when I was reflecting upon just being in quarantine, but also just in my daily life, at work, or when you're going through difficulties, or when I'm going through difficulties in particular, how I will tend to complain or about my circumstances. I like to rant to other people to probably gain their sympathy, or just to be and that stems from discontentment. And the other aspect is doubting God's goodness. And maybe not verbally, but I think by complaining, it's kind of doubting God's purpose and plan. That time. Yeah. And doubting, okay, is this trial or adversity that I'm going through for my good? And how can God be glorified through my circumstances? So I'm definitely a feeler, and so I respond more emotionally. But I appreciated the last chapter, and it's so perfectly timed, totally sovereign, that we're going through this book and finishing it off as we're in quarantine together. But something else that really, I think, encouraged me was being reminded that giving thanks is actually a fruit of the Spirit. And so it's definitely not something natural to our sinful human nature. But it also reminds us that when we give thanks, we recognize God for being the giver of and provider of our physical and spiritual needs. So, that's just a little bit. And then I think I closed off my encouragement with just, I have really missed worshiping with everybody physically. Sundays are different, right? There is the convenience of just turning on your electronic device and watching the sermons and worshiping. But I really enjoyed this collaboration, even though we kind of recorded our own parts, but seeing it all come together did feel like Sundays.
Yeah.
Even though there wasn't practice, I definitely miss playing with you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. You're kind.
And I would still say, like, yeah, I miss playing with, like, Ray live. And so, yeah, but at the same time, I think just reminding the church, like, this is just a temporary circumstance. God, Lord willing, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
It is a temporary circumstance, and even though we are scattered, we can still be the church. Where we are. So
I think that, well, when I saw your face on the screen, I was surprised, but it was like a pleasant surprise. You know, it was kind of like, oh, this is nice. You know, it's good to see everybody again. And I think with your exhortation, I think what I went away with was that I think that it was really genuine. Like I felt that, like, wow, Endora really believes this, and yeah, it moved me to trust God a little bit more, you know, and to be thankful. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that with the church in that way. So you mentioned that you recorded the music, right? So how did you do that? Were you just like in your room? Were you in this room that you're in right now singing?
Actually, no. I was in my living room, and it was definitely a trial and error.
Yeah.
I don't have any fancy equipment. It was just my phone.
Sure.
And I did have to record more than once.
Okay.
And I'm really thankful for Aaron Ma. Because he really helped me out, because he's the one who put it all together.
Right.
Balanced it all out. I don't know how he did it, but I recorded it. Initially it was too close to, and I thought I was far enough, but it was maybe about 6 feet away.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just, what was it? I have a music stand at home. Okay. So my mom has one.
Yeah.
So I put my phone on top of that music stand.
Nice.
And I had a laptop on the dining table, and then I just pressed play to listen to the recording.
Yeah.
And then, I just had to walk back and forth to the music stand. But yeah, the first time I was recording, it was way too close. And then the second time I had to redo it. So it had a better sound quality.
Oh, no, I'm thankful that you put yourself out there to do it. I think it was great. And you were raising your hands. Like I felt that. I felt that the entire time. Your hands were raised the entire time, and I appreciate that. You know, like.
So it's funny that you bring that up, because I did ask Ray, because when I was recording myself, I was naturally raising my hands.
Nice.
As I would, like, during worship.
Right.
And so I just asked him, is it okay to raise my hand? And he said, yeah, just be natural.
He was like, no, you can't raise your hands. Then, like, you'll just keep your hands on the side.
It is true. Like, because I was like, should I be looking at the camera the whole time?
No, you're right.
Or can I just pretend that we are all on the stage on Sundays?
Right. Yeah.
And raise my hands.
Yeah. I'm glad that you did. I wanted you to do it. If you didn't do it, I'd be like, man, this isn't genuine. I know Endora. She'd be raising her hands, you know? So I'm glad that you did it. I'm really glad that you did it. Endora, you said that you were reading that book. And what, you're reading it with your small group? Is that what it is?
That's true. Yeah, we are. That's correct. We are
nice.
reading this book. We're done with it now, so we just finished it. Finished the last chapter. We're going to start a new book this week. And we've been meeting virtually, so that's been exciting.
Tell me about
probably a highlight of my week, just to see other people.
Oh no, it really is. Tell me about your virtual small groups. What are you doing it over Zoom?
Google Hangouts, which is basically, I think, the same thing. Yeah, so how we do small groups is the same. The only difference is, we don't meet in person. We usually have brunch together.
Okay.
And lately, before COVID hit, we were into, like, building boards, like having themed brunches.
Okay.
And we had like a, was it toast or no? I forgot. No, we had a pancake board. So we were, like, thinking about the next board we were going to make. But anyway, so we just been meeting virtually, and somebody is assigned the chapter to lead the discussion.
Okay.
And we typically will have a time of worship. initially when we all tried singing together, it was like virtually impossible.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then we had to figure out just a way to do that. But even so, even if it was just like one person leading and everybody muting themselves, it was just really nice. It's been really nice, personally, to be able to still sing together.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are still able to meet too. It's amazing how we can just kind of pivot over to different platforms to help out. Obviously, it's not the same. It's nice
yeah.
that you're still able to do it. And Dora, do you have any final words of encouragement you want to give to the church or anybody that's listening to this?
um, I guess just to remember that to not find our hope in our circumstances, but find our hope in who God is. And yeah, I mean, take advantage of this time to read the Bible more. I know I need to do that every single morning instead of,
Same, same. Yeah.
starting to check my work emails and then like being anxious about what's going to happen in the day, but just to
Yeah.
start off with like remembering, how good God has been and still is in our lives. And yeah, like our small group, I mean, they've been encouragement to me too. Like there's been answered prayer requests, even over the past couple of weeks, and he's
Right.
still working,
Yeah.
and he hasn't changed. So it's
Yeah.
just a perspective change for us. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. No, that's really good. Thanks so much, Endora, for taking this call.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Thanks, Endora, for being my guest on the show, and thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget that you can get all of the episodes of Walnut Notes delivered via YouTube, Spotify, or your favorite podcast player. Just search for FCBC Walnut. For more information about our church, visit our website at fcbcwalnut.org. While we are meeting online due to COVID-19, there are still many opportunities to learn, grow, and serve at FCBC Walnut. So let us know how we can help you to get plugged in. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to Walnut Weekly, our social media email newsletter. We deliver fresh resources for free and provide peeks behind the scenes from the social media ministry of FCBC Walnut. Let our social media ministry serve you. Find the link in the show notes, but you can also find the link under the resources menu on our website at fcbcwalnut.org. Thanks. See you soon.